It's a holiday here in the States, so I pre-recorded this one, but you Brits got to work, so let me give you something to listen to. Today's all about Ricky Gervais. Jane Fallon has been Ricky's partner for 36 years. The Daily Mail recaps some of their relationship. They used to live above a brothel. Jane said, "We went through a few years where we had absolutely no money. We lived above a brothel. It was horrendous. I had many, many Saturday jobs. I worked in a bookshop and all sorts of different shops. I was a chambermaid in various hotels. I loved that job. It was quiet. You're on your own." She says, living with Ricky, he's like a Fisher-Price toy, making random noises all over the place. I need complete silence when I work. It's hard when the two of us are home. I have to take myself in another room. They decided not to marry because there's no point in us having an actual ceremony before the eyes of God because there is no God. And Ricky said they decided not to have children because, quote, we didn't fancy dedicating 16 years of our lives, and there are too many children, of course. Ricky says, Afterlife will end after the third season, saying, I've already made up my mind, there won't be a fourth series. And you do put these things out there to make you remember, as it's tempting, but there's an old saying, to lead the orchestra, you've got to turn your back on the audience. That's true. The audience think they want another series, but they're not so sure, so you've got to be careful. Did you know Ricky was once in a new wave band? This from Far Out magazine. While a student at University College London, Ricky Gervais, along with his friend Bill McRae, formed new wave duo Seona Dancing in 1982. Yeah, you got to look this up. Seona Dancing. You have to see 1982 new wave Ricky Gervais. Just picture Ricky Gervais standing next to Boy George and having that kind of hair, or something like that. You got to look at it. Far Out says the dynamics of the duo saw McRae compose the music and playing keyboards, while Gervais was a lyrics man mainly. Following the recording of a 16-song demo tape, the duo was signed by London Records. They released 2 singles by the band called More to Lose and Bitter Heart, and they were both deemed as commercial failures, which meant that Seona Dancing were no more by 1984. Gervais spoke to Classic Rock back in 2016, and he said, my first mistake back then was wanting to be a pop star. I should have wanted to be a musician. That taught me a lot because in later life, I didn't want to be a celebrity. I wanted to be a writer/director. People only knew I was in a band because I'm famous for something else now. And the video pops up on Graham Norton and we laugh at how thin I was. It was all over very quick. I was signed from a demo, released a single, didn't make it, released a second single, didn't make it. We were dropped, and that was the end of it. The post-signed years were a bigger influence than the signed years because we played every gig we could get, and I invited A&R men to every single one. I remember going to one gig with our equipment in a shopping trolley, and the guitarist said, this is my lowest point ever. He had a point. Despite the 2 singles not making Gervais a star in Britain, in the Philippines, it was a different story. In 1985, Manila-based radio station DWRT-FM played a track which they named Medium by a band called Fade. They decided to keep the true identity of More to Lose under wraps in an effort to prevent other stations hopping aboard the Seona Dancing train. A year later, rival station DWXB 102 discovered the true identity of the song, and by the time the Philippines had fallen head over heels for Seona Dancing, Esquire Philippines noted on the cult classic, here in the Philippines, where the 80s never ended, Ricky Gervais' high-waisted pants era lives on in Manila's old taxis and ancient department stores where More to Love continues to play incessantly for the oldies who remember the good old days. That's amazing. And again, that's 1985, so they just like the music. Ricky wasn't like Office famous in 85. Amazing. Kind of sounds like David Brent Life on the Road, doesn't it? From ABC6OnYourSide.com, say it with me, it's your home for comedy news. Brewdog is giving back to Columbus through a recent collaboration with Ricky Gervais. Yeah, I told you the whole episode's about Ricky today. They announced they'd be teaming up with Animal Friends in Pennsylvania and Gigi's Shelter Services in Columbus to use space on beer cans to showcase profiles of some of the charity's adoptable dogs. I'm happy I said Gigi's Shelter Services twice in a row now without making an edit, but this is great. I am a dog lover. Ricky is a dog lover. Street Dog and Street Dog AF are Brewdog's new limited edition Punk IPA and Punk AF, and they will feature these adoptable dogs. The limited edition beers are now available online in 6-packs or 24-packs for pre-orders. Brewdog said the collaboration was inspired by Ricky shouting out to them on Twitter last month. He urged businesses to donate to charity rather than pay for celebrity endorsements. Brewdog co-founder James Watt said, "At Brewdog, we're always looking for ways to use our business to do good. When Ricky tweeted us with a genuine endorsement for Punk IPA, we wanted to use our platform to donate to a cause he's passionate about. We then decided to take it one step further and not only donate the profits from our street dog cans, but give our possum four-legged friends at these local shelters space on our cans to help them find forever homes." That is awesome. Good for them. Gervais said, "Dogs make me happy. Beer makes me happy. A beer that saves dogs makes me very happy." From the Dothan Eagle, Ricky thinks people should, quote, worship dogs. He said, "Everyone knows I'm an atheist. I don't believe that we have a soul, but if there was such a thing as a soul, a dog would have one first. There's doubt about it. I've never seen anything more soulful than a dog. They do everything for us. They guard us. They guide us. They can smell cancer. They're teaching them to smell COVID. Why are we not worshiping these creatures?" Ricky says it can be depressing to see the ways that some people treat animals. He added, "It'll never end until the whole world is vegan and we stop killing things for fun. It will never end. There will always be crisis like this. Animals are always last on the list, so there's always a problem. You just open a new door. But you know what? It's a joy trying. It's depressing, and sometimes I can't cope with this, but then you think, of course you can. You've just got to be pragmatic. If everyone did a little bit, it would all be over." Ricky was on talk radio, and he said, "There are results. There are some things that you can cure. It's not just there'll always be this and there'll always be that. Some things you can actually stop. We could stop bullfighting tomorrow. You just could. A lot of people already have. And I think that's another great thing about social media. People are more aware of this because it was a lot of ignorance." And the Daily Mail tells us Ricky revealed his older brother Bob once beat up a man for kicking a dog. Ricky's home. The family comes running into Mom's house and says, Nan, Daddy's just punched a man in the face and knocked him over in the park." Mom was horrified. "My brother Bob came in." She went, "Did you just beat up a man in the park?" And my brother went, "Yeah, he kicked the dog." And my mom went, "Oh, all right." That's your comedy news for today. Sorry, Brits had to work. I'm at the beach. See you tomorrow.